All right, guys. So we had a couple surprises here at TNA NXT this past week. First off, NXT, right out of the gates, we had a surprise. Interrupted Obafemi, the Division X champion, Moose. And in addition to that, we also had a challenge put out there, a tag team challenge by No Quarter Catch Crew to the TNA tag team champions, the Hardy Boys. We also had TNA with a few surprises on their end. We had the return of the Colognes. And also Elijah, formerly known as Elias, debuting there with Mr. Joe Hendry. Guys, yeah, like it was a lot happening, and specifically with these two promotions here, and clearly their agreement to or their partnership is it's like it's like can't miss TV. I'll say that. So, what you guys' thoughts on this? Any of these matchups intriguing to you guys, or like any specific individual caught you guys off guard, or thoughts?
Dude, I'm just happy to see. I'm happy to see Obafemi versus Moose. Holy shit, bro! This is gonna be crazy. Yeah. These two guys, bro, they might as well just run at each other full force and see who explodes. Like these two boys are big boys, and they look like they're gonna put on. They're gonna put on a banger of a match. And the other one I'm excited for is, of course, the Hardys, right? Right. And they also cut a promo too, talking to Fraxium. So that already sets it up for the next feud right after that. So it could be Fraxium versus the Hardy Boys. And bro, Fraxium, they put on a spot fest during the last pay-per-view, bro. I mean, the last premium live event, and yeah, dude. I mean, them versus the Hardys, just high flying all over the place. I think that's gonna be a good match too.
Oh, for sure.
Me too. I'm now that I know about Obafemi and Big Moose, like first I heard it from you guys, right? And I was like, who are these two giants you guys are talking about? And I love this about wrestling, right? Because like this is how you guys put it, and this is why I love wrestling. It doesn't matter who gets pinned. A win is for everyone and these two happen to be colliding, and I got to see Obafemi clothesline. I was like, oh shoot, this dude monstrous, right? Against the Moose too. You know how big a Moose is, right? Like Moose. Oh man, Juggernaut versus the Colossus. Come on. And the Hardys. What I like about the Hardys, what's his name? Javon something. He was just
Javon Evans.
TV.
Javon Evans?
Yes, Javon Evans. This guy, he's like the next generation that is influenced by these Hardys. So it's like, oh man. So anytime you see the greats still doing great, man, and see the next generation rocking because of them. And that team, Factions, I'm on them now too, man. So this is nice. So I'm excited because I'm now on to them, especially those giants, dude. Like, so let's get it.
Yeah, and Moose is supposed to fight Lexus King next week. So we get to he gets to show himself off. You know what I mean? Kind of do a showcase for himself to get the WWE crowd or the NXT crowd who doesn't necessarily watch TNA, which is me, of course. But I like I said, I watch stuff here and there in TNA, but I'm not too familiar with Moose. But bro, this dude is huge. So that's why I'm kind of excited for it. He kind of matches the energy with Obafemi, and I get to see what he's made of next week when he fights Lexus King for the X Division Championship.
I'll just throw this out real quick. Sorry, Jay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you guys keep talking about like Moose's stature. I'll say this. I actually saw him last year at the TNA pay-per-view they had in Las Vegas. First time seeing him in person, and the dude is monstrously huge. Like I'm not gonna lie, like he has this aura, this presence, where it's just like, dude, like he is pretty intimidating. Clearly the guy, is a pro wrestler, but I don't necessarily see many pro wrestlers carry themselves the way they do, like Moose. And the only person I can think that can really match him right now is Obafemi. Like. So just to know that these two guys are like linking up. And I did get a chance to see Obafemi earlier this year. And like seeing him against Trick Williams, that dude too is no joke. Like the way he carries himself, he just, like when they walk to the ring and just how like they kind of like command their presence in the ring, it's just like no other. You want to like think about people like Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley. Those guys clearly have that, that aura about them. But these are other two, like I would say, that you shouldn't overlook. So this matchup got me really excited. I do want to keep, like, I know I keep reiterating this, but the fact that we were talking about this like fantasy booking before that actually aired was crazy. Like, just the fact that we're like the thoughts of manifesting this matchup. So it was like, damn, like I was really caught off guard when I saw Moose show up on TV. I did not expect that. So I'll just throw that out there.
I just want to add more to you saying how you seen not Oba, but Moose in real life, right? And he has this really commanding presence. I want to throw it out there that I used to work for TSA, and one of the times that I was working at TSA, WWE had a house show down here, and so a bunch of the wrestlers came through the checkpoint. We had closed it down and everything. We were doing it specifically for them. And then I remember one of the ones I remember specifically was Randy Orton. And I'm 5'10", 5'11" on a good day. And I remember, and you're taller than me, right, Jojo? So like you're taller than me.
Tad bit, just a little tad bit, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. But then, so like, I remember looking at him, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's definitely taller than me, but he's not that much bigger than me. Big Show came through. That guy is huge.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
That guy was huge.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, so like, I mean, hey, bro, shout out to the WWE cameramen because they make these guys look bigger than life. And, for a lot of these, especially for like somebody like Moose and Oba, to command that presence on screen, giving that larger than life look, you know what I mean? Not only is the cameraman doing their job, production team doing their job, but they're really projecting it onto the screen because when you really look at them in real life, like I said, dude, like I looked at some of these wrestlers like, oh, they're not that much bigger. Some of them are actually smaller than me. So,
right.
I mean, yeah, I got to give them that.
Sorry, Jay, I cut you off a little bit.
Shout out the camera people.
So Moose and Obafemi, both imposing figures, both command like your attention when you see them on TV. It's really good that this partnership with TNA and NXT, you see it coming to fruition and it's bearing fruit. You see some matchups that are going to happen. We're not going to probably see this matchup till, I'm assuming, with WrestleMania weekend. They're not just going to give this match. This is a big time. This is a big deal. The Hardy Boys also. That wrestling's big on nostalgia, so them being in a WWE ring is gonna just bring some viewers to the CW. So that's another good move by TNA and NXT. I do want to talk about, we all know what WWE stands for, right? Right? Walk with Elias. We all know it's Walk with Elias. This guy, I'm happy for him that he's back at a promotion. I do felt he would. The crowd liked Elias.
Yeah,
like, he was over. I mean, his gimmick was working. It's just unfortunate that he was one of the cuts, a surprising cut, because the guy was whatever gimmick he was. The Elias gimmick and what was the Ezekiel gimmick?
Oh gosh, that was
working.
That was so good. That's such a underrated character. So funny.
Me too. I love Ezekiel.
He was that character.
Range.
Yeah.
Right. The fact that he's on TNA, he's getting a paycheck, he's on television. That's cool. This is good. This is why we want to see other promotions do well. So all these other wrestlers can get a paycheck. They can get some TV time.
Exactly.
And Ezekiel being back is cool. I hope there's some sort of program for him to cross over a little bit with NXT. But yeah, Ezekiel being back is...
Elijah. Yeah, he's going by Elijah now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ezekiel's his brother.
Backing him up already.
Yeah. Ezekiel's his brother. You got to remember that.
That Kevin Owens feud he had was top tier, bro. Kevin Owens feud.
That was so good. Yeah,
So it's good to see Ezekiel back. I mean, WWE, it stands for Walk with Elias. We know this.
Elias, Elijah, Ezekiel. Take your pick.
Yes.
But yeah, no, like I think that the introduction to have him tag team with Joe Hendry was just was a really great idea, especially because like they're both musically talented and kind of carry almost like a very similar persona, I would say, on screen. But yeah, to your point, Jay, the partnership between TNA and NXT or WWE specifically has definitely benefited both sides. And I'll go back to the whole with AEW having to do this back then in their infancy stages, clearly with New Japan as well. Like it did create a lot of excitement because the quote unquote forbidden door. You're having people cross over to different promotions, not like before. But at the end of the day, when we look at what AEW has done, it's almost as if there was no long-term success from it. They had fantasy booking, which is great for the moment, but the long-term, I would say, impact of how the other promotions benefit, I don't see it. They kind of did their thing with TNA, but it was almost as if what happened off of that, there wasn't really that much of a draw to the TNA product afterwards. Similar to New Japan Pro Wrestling, they kind of took a lot of their stars. It was not even like New Japan Pro Wrestling stars anymore. They were just AEW stars, up to the point where they got signed by AEW. So here you see the talent pool a little bit stretched out, but at the same time, they're labeled as TNA and NXT, but they're very notable names. And for that matter, the partnership here has really elevated both promotions and clearly given a platform for a lot of people that may not necessarily be on the WWE main roster, but being relevant in their respective brands and creating excitement and engagement in NXT and TNA. Granted, like I said from the get-go, it almost seems like this is you can't miss any episode of NXT because there's something happening. These past 2 weeks were clearly great examples. With the debut of Ricky Saints, and you also had Moose showing up. So it's crazy times right now. And then next week we got the Hardys coming back to WWE television, which is pretty exciting. And I think on the TNA, I don't know if they announced anything for TNA going into next week, but I think you called it out, Nick. Moose is going up against Alexis King. So
yeah.
So yes.
Yep.
So otherwise, it just almost seems like you gotta kind of tune in, however it is. But yeah, it's clearly exciting times right now in pro wrestling.
But Joe, there's also a very important thing to tune into NXT. Julia. Who doesn't want to see Julia? She can just breathe, and that's time to tune in. So, tune into NXT because you'll see Julia.
I feel
specifically for Julia.
Cuzzo, you want to chime in on this?
Oh, yes. The whole women's division. We see you, Carmen. Did not even think you were, but you did your thing. Sol Ruka. Look, your partner is pretty savage, too. Yeah, Sol Ruka's partner. What is her name?
Zaria.
God. You spear like you're a rhino. And I like that. I like that a lot. God,
you're the biggest NXT women's division fan I know right now.
Hey, they brought me back. I'm telling you, they brought me back. Kaylani Jordan. Hey, Jada Parker. Listen, all of you
Parker,
ladies.
Yes,
Miss Parker. Miss Parker. Yes.
Oh, this is too good. All right.
Julia, we coming for you.
Let the plot keep thickening, okay? Let Julia lead all that. Keep that plot thickening. Hey, Mr. Sean, are you the one staffing that? Let's go, Sean. Yes, sir.
HBK, Booker of the Year.
HBK.
It's only begun.
It's only yes. Yeah, man.